Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Roblania Network. Today I'm here with Jackson Steiner, who is not only a character in Roblania Spider-Man, the universe, but he is also the voice of Jonah Jameson in the first movie. I'm glad to announce that he will be returning in Roblania Spider-Man 2 to be the same character, but in a different situation. So obviously, RSM1, which was a huge success, as we said multiple times, not just critically, but for the viewers as well. When you saw the incredible reaction of RSM1, where we had over 110 people watching it, how did that make you feel, and how does that motivate you heading into the second film?
First up, I just want to say it's good to be back on the channel. I've missed being at Roblania. I just want to say Roblania Spider-Man, it was critically acclaimed. It was a very successful film, and I'm very proud of you for doing what you did on it. We got a very popular amount of people watching that stream during the watch party, and it still has a great amount of viewers on YouTube. I'm very excited for this next movie. I think everybody on the cast has got their A game, and everybody wants to do better. I myself personally also want to do better. I think you yourself that I did a pretty decent job in the first movie, but on the second movie, I want to do even better. I want to sound damn near identical, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So, speaking of RSM1, you talked about your performance and how it was. What did you think of the other characters, and what was your favorite takeaway from that first movie?
My other cast members, they did a phenomenal job on the movie, especially for some of them never doing any voice work. And we did have a few people who are actually kind of experienced with voice acting, and that helped out a lot. Um, I really liked how we had some people come in the movie who weren't even trying to be in the movie. Like we had people like D Payne come on and have a cameo appearance, and they killed it with their role. I think Dale Theory, he did a phenomenal job as Jackson Steiner. That's me. And I think everyone else, especially you, not only making the movie, being the director, also being the lead actor, phenomenal job. And yeah, I'm honestly do believe everybody's gonna do better in this second film, and it's gonna be worth the watch.
So in the second film, crime's going to be ramped up to another level. There's a lot of things going on within the crime syndicate. Obviously, it's been confirmed in that initial live stream cast reveal that the man known as Tombstone, L. Thompson Lincoln, has escaped. And we saw that in the first movie where he never actually is shown to be detained. He escapes during the final act. Now, we also have Harry Osborn taking up the throne at Oscorp. And not even that, we also have the breaking news of Hammerhead being introduced into the film. So obviously J. Jonah Jameson is going to be having a lot of things to cover. Now, what can you give us a glimpse? Can you give us a glimpse into what we can expect from the character in the second movie and the sort of emotional stakes that's being entered within this character?
Well, J. Jonah Jameson, he's gonna have a different role in this film. As you said, the crime has not only doubled but tripled. Excuse me. And I think J. Jonah Jameson, he's gonna really want to get to the Spider-Man menace even more this film. He's gonna have a lot more crime on his hands. I think the Daily Bugle is gonna have a lot more news to report, and I think J. Jonah Jameson, he's really gonna have his hands full with the Spider Menace, and he's not even gonna be able to control all the news in the city going on and how he's gonna report it all at once. So I think J. Jonah Jameson in this film, he might go down uh, a dark hole, especially darker than the last movie. Because I think J. Jonah Jameson, unfortunately, is always in a dark hole, especially with his marriage. But yeah, I'm very excited to see the character progression for J. Jonah Jameson and the entire movie.
So when you got the news that Roblania Spider-Man 2 is going to come back for a sequel, how did that make you feel, and how did you mentally prepare to get back into the role that everyone loves?
Well, after the success of RSM1, I kind of expected that there was going to be an RSM2. Not only did I want there to be another movie, I think everybody else also wanted there to be another movie. And I think it just had to happen. Um, there was so much success with the first movie, and I think there's so many missing plot hole points with the first one that is going to be is going to have attention to on this second film. So I am very excited to see what's going to happen with that. When I got the news that there was going to be an RSM2, I was very excited. Um, mentally, I was excited to get back into the character of J. Jonah Jameson. Because honestly, it's just a very funny character, great, phenomenal character. It's one of those characters that's comedic relief, especially in a movie like Spider-Man. That it does have a lot of comedy, but J. Jonah Jameson being on the, I guess, on the bad side of Spider-Man and bringing that comedy, it does help a lot to the character not only of J. Jonah Jameson but of Spider-Man. So it's going to be very awesome to see how that plays out. But yeah, overall, I am very excited for RSM2. It's going to be a great movie.
So we've talked about Roblania Spider-Man, and we've talked about your character, J. Jonah Jameson. But let's talk about the other character who shares the same name as you, Jackson Steiner, who in this second film is going to become the enemy of the crime syndicate, making it his, because we saw in the first film it kind of ended off the cliffhanger with his character arc. He didn't know where his life was headed, and now he does. He's going to be working alongside, well, it's kind of weird to say Jackson is going to be working alongside Jackson, as in Jackson is going to be working alongside J. Jonah Jameson, of course. How excited are you to get screen time with your own character? And also, how do you feel about the fact that you even have a character in this movie?
Well, when we first started development on RSM1, the plan was that I was going to be Jackson Steiner, especially in the first trailer. I was credited as Jackson Steiner playing Jackson Steiner. So, and then just due to my schedule, I was no longer playing Jackson. So, and then I switched to J. Jonah Jameson because that was the missing role that needed to be filled desperately. We could not have this movie without J. Jonah Jameson, and I was very happy to play the role. Now, to be able to get on screen with the character Jackson, I think is going to be fun. I myself being Jackson and the character in the movie, I think we're very different, but I think we're also very similar in the same way. And I think in the movie, J. Jonah Jameson has a lot of has a lot to relate to with Jackson. So I actually can't wait to see more with that dynamic. I'm honestly expecting there to be a lot of comedy with that, but also Jackson having a more serious role in this movie. I can't wait to see where that goes because last movie he was really more of a comedic relief character. So to see him have a more serious role in this film, I do think that's really cool. Um, but yeah, J. Jonah Jameson and Jackson Steiner, that's going to be a fun thing to do. And I'm not a I don't know how I feel about Dill's theory. I wouldn't say I've always been the biggest fan of his, but times have passed, and who knows? He might have changed his ways. What do you think about Dill?
What do I think about Dill? I think Dill's a great voice actor, and he's been the perfect encapsulation of, ironically, my character of Jackson Steiner, who is not actually modeled after you at all, which is kind of weird. I don't, I didn't, people may get it confused, but when I was writing this character, there was absolutely zero idea, there was zero connection or reference to the real Jackson Steiner. I had a completely different person imagined, a completely different story, a completely different arc, and a completely different personality that I think Dill just took to another level and perfectly encapsulated what I wanted. So I think in this second film, there's definitely going to be a lot in store, especially with you two having to, get some screen time. So we might see some pretty cool action. Speaking of action, though, we saw in that cast reveal that there was a lot of action going on with Spider-Man and Electro. The animation has not only improved, but it's gotten better tenfold. What are you most excited for? It doesn't have to specifically be about animation, but just in anything in general. What are you most excited for in this second film? What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, while we're on the topic of animation, I do think, and you said it yourself when we were talking on the watch party, as you progress through working through Spider-Man, your animation skills got better. So this movie, we're not only going to see your animation skills be just as good as the end of RSM1. I think you're not only going to just excel with your animation skills, and we're going to be even better with that. Now, for the rest of the film, I'm also excited to see the city. I think there's going to be a lot of. I mean, you talked about it in the group chat, and I think you also said something on Twitter about how we can make the city more lively. I'm very excited to see how you do with that. Honestly, my ideas: more billboards, more cars. Let's try to get some children in there. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think the animation, the liveliness of the city, that's gonna be awesome for the film. Also, probably weather. I think weather would be fun. I know we saw some rain in RSM1. Let's see some like thunder or something. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, I will take that into consideration. So, for my last question, I want to ask, what if there's oh, actually, well, there's one. I have two more. One, if there's someone that's on the fence about watching Roblania Spider-Man 2, being there on the live watch party for this momentous occasion, what would you say to convince them to come?
It's free. I mean, you're not paying a dime to see this movie. I mean, it's coming soon. We obviously don't have a date for it, but if you're on the fence about watching RSM2, watch RSM1. And if you already watched it, just rewatch it because we are going to double the anticipation. We're going to double the crime. We're going to double the action. It's going to be jam packed. I am very excited for this film, and you should be too. I mean, why are you not? Why would anybody be on the fence about this film? That's my question.
Couldn't have worded it better. My last one. We asked everyone this. What is your bold prediction heading into Roblania Spider-Man 2?
Will Jonah Jameson save his marriage? What do you
Interesting.
think?
Well, you know,
No,
I can't reveal too much. So,
but I am excited to see the how Peter will go about after the last movie. We saw how things ended, but I'm very excited to see where his character goes. I haven't read the full script. I've only read some parts of it, but I'm very excited to see how his character goes about things.
well, thank you so much for your time, Jackson, and I hope everyone enjoyed this
Thank
exclusive
you.
interview. Yep, on the Roblania Network, we hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And more importantly, if you would like to stay updated, be sure to follow our
Bye.
Twitter and the Roblania Studios production server, as well as the Roblania community server. Do you have anything you want to say to the viewers before we end this?
500 likes and we're bringing back the center section.
Looks like it'll never return. Thank you, everyone.